Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias.
So a viewer asked me the question, which do I prefer, the Tiny Toothpick or the Peanut? And it was a question that really got me thinking a little bit. Because, well, first of all, I don't normally carry either a Tiny Toothpick or a Peanut. Typically, the knife that I'm carrying in the small pocket is the Victorinox Midnight Manager. And that's usually the small knife that I carry. I don't normally carry a toothpick or a peanut, but as you can see here, I do collect both. Well, I should say I buy both. It was never really something that I purposely set out to collect. Well, actually, that's a lie too, because as you can see here, I've got 4 peanuts by W.R. Case & Son, or actually 3 peanuts by W.R. Case & Son, and then 1 by Zippo, but the one by Zippo is also made by W.R. Case & Son. I mean, Zippo owns Case, so you know who made the Zippo peanut. It was Case. And then I only have 1 Case toothpick. So looking at that, it would say that, you know, if you were to just look at that, I've got 4 peanuts and 1 toothpick from W.R. Case & Son, you would think that would mean that, well, he must obviously prefer the peanut over the toothpick. But then, like I said, I don't really carry either one. So why do I have more Case peanuts than toothpicks? And the answer is going to be kind of strange. Basically, this was the very first Case peanut I picked up, and this is in the amber peach seed jig bone. And you know, Case peanuts are really an excellent knife. If you are looking at picking up a small pattern knife to collect, you probably could not go wrong with the Case peanut. It's really a nice knife. It's got wonderful half stops, good action on the blades, and they're really solid, well-made knives. See there, the mirror polish, the finish going there, the way the bone is all lined up. And the blades are relatively easy to open. I'd say the pull on this peanut is in the 4 or 5 range. So yeah, it's a great knife to pick up. And I bought this one and it's like, this is pretty cool. I really like it. And then about a week later, I saw this one show up on eBay, and it was going for a ridiculously low price. I think it was somewhere around $15 or $20, and no one was bidding on it. No one was bidding on it. It's a Case tangerine bone. You got the shield there, and action just as smooth as the other one. I mean, it's just terrific. But it was, you know, $15 on eBay. And so I put in a bid at the very last minute, and I won this knife, and it was like $20 or something, which is really like stealing the knife. And that's basically when I thought, you know what, as long as I've got 2, why don't I just start collecting Case peanuts? Because I was trying to think of a pattern among Case knives to collect. And I had not picked up any toothpicks yet. It's like, you know, and it's like small toothpicks were not something that I was crazy about. I bought this one. I had 2 now. And then it's like, yeah, I should start collecting Case peanuts. And so later on, this one popped up. And this is the magenta boned Case peanut. And if you notice, it's a little different because it's got a little bail back here. And the blade is in the back now. Still excellent action on this. And look at the finish on there. Oh man, they're really nice. And then this one also had a pair of scissors. And I did a video on this one a long time ago because the scissors did not work nearly as well as the scissors on a 58 millimeter sack. And this knife was at the time probably the most expensive case knife I had ever bought. I bought it new, obviously as a limited edition kind of thing, and I definitely do not have any regrets buying it because you really cannot find these anymore. And Case rarely puts scissors on a peanut, so it was a pretty cool knife to have, and it was in my collection. And then that was it. I had those 3 knives, 3 Case peanuts, and I stopped picking them up. I just never really bothered to get another one until this one showed up, and this one showed up a year or 2 ago. And this was a special factory offering, and as you can tell, this is Zippo. It isn't by Case, it's Zippo. And no date mark in there. I did a video on this one when it first came up. Wonderful, like a chestnut bone handle, really pretty color on it. And I picked it up, and the main reason I picked it up was like, well, it's a single blade peanut. It's about as close as I'm ever going to get to a Case single bladed peanut. And so I picked it up, and that's it. I mean, if you're talking about a slow growth pattern of peanuts or knives to collect, my USA made Case peanuts is pretty low. So, but I have been collecting them, but very slowly. As for the Case toothpick, this is it. This is the only one I've picked up. I am constantly on the look for a Case toothpick, a 3-inch tiny toothpick. But when I see them, I look at it and go either, the price is too high, or the bone just doesn't look quite the way I want it to be and everything else. And so I just have not picked one up beyond this one. And I've had this one for a good 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer than that. Will I ever pick up another Case toothpick? I probably will. And I'll probably pick up another peanut, but they are not something that I actively seek out. I just occasionally look for one, and if it's there, I get it. Now, the reason you see all these other knives around there might explain why I have only picked up the few Case peanuts and toothpicks that I have here. And if you notice, all of these other ones are in pairs. So what you have are a bunch of peanuts and tiny toothpicks from Rough Rider. And what Rough Rider used to do is when they would do a series or a specific type of handle material, what they would commonly do is there would be like 7 patterns that were almost always in there. And your typical series would have anywhere from 8 to 10 knives in it. But among the large patterns, you would almost always have the Trapper, the Congress, the Canoe, some kind of Stockman, and the Muskrat. But then they would always include 2 small patterns, and those 2 small patterns were the toothpick and the peanut. So what I have here are the toothpicks and peanuts that came from a variety of series from Rough Rider. And that's why I have toothpicks and peanuts. But it is also something that kind of got to me, and it's like when Rough Rider more recently, they've just started doing toothpicks but no peanut. And it doesn't appeal to me as much. What I like is I like to see the pairing of them. This is the ones in the original Stonework series. Later on, when they did the newer Stoneworks knives, they left out the peanut. I was sad not to see the peanut in the new Stoneworks series. I would have liked to have seen a peanut in there along with the toothpick. And that's what you see here with all of these, is like these are the two in the Brian Yellow Horse Arrowhead series, the toothpick and the peanut. And they really look good together. So that's really what it comes down to. Do I like one more than the other? It's hard for me to say. What I do know is I definitely like them more as a pair than as an individual. I like to see the toothpick and the tweezers together because I think they make a really interesting pair. It's a great pairing of knives. If I were to start doing like the 2 for Tuesdays, I would love to do 2 for Tuesdays of toothpick and peanut. Toothpick and peanut from different places. So, you know, here, look at this in black pearl. Toothpick and peanut. That looks a whole lot better. And that might be why I stopped picking up the case peanuts, because I want a toothpick to go with them. I will probably, they did not make a toothpick to go with this. It would have been great to have a toothpick to match this. They probably do have a tangerine orange peanut out there somewhere. Will it be in the same bone pattern? I don't know. I would love to find out if there was one made like that. I know Zippo did not make a toothpick. They just made the single-bladed peanut. And I do not believe there was a Carhartt peanut. I know if there would have been, I probably would have picked it up. And that's really where I feel like I am with the toothpick and peanut. Alone, they're pretty cool, but together, I think they make a fantastic pair. Chances are, if I do start collecting more toothpicks, it's going to be like, well, is there a peanut to go with it? Or if I look at more peanuts, it'll probably be the same thing. Is there a peanut? I've got the peanut. Is there a toothpick to go with it? If I don't have both of them, I'm not going to be as interested in it, because I think they just make a great pairing, the toothpick and the peanut. So that's where I stand on it. I guess that's kind of a wishy-washy answer, but that really is where I stand on it. I much prefer to see these two small patterns together. And I hope that Rough Rider and other companies start thinking about that more. It seems like I get it that most people, this is my own general thought in my head, is that I think most people who use or who collect the small patterns collect the toothpick. But I think when it comes to people who use them and carry them and have them in the pocket, I think more likely you have more people carrying a peanut and using it, whereas more people think of the toothpick as pocket jewelry and a great little knife to collect. I think they are both knives that are great for the pocket and also for the collection, but they look much better together. That's my opinion. I'd much rather see the toothpick and the tweezer, or toothpick and the peanut, as a pair instead of either or. So where do you fall? Are you a peanut person or a tiny toothpick person? Leave your comment below, or if you're a YouTuber and feel like talking about it online, go for it that way too. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on the tiny toothpick and the peanut.
Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.